What's going on, guys, and welcome back to Season 9 of NHL 20 Detroit Red Wings Franchise Mode Series. As you can see there, the San Jose Sharks in the Stanley Cup last year. Lucas Raymond was our playoff scoring leader, 12 points there in 11 games. Unfortunately, we have still not made a conference final with this team. We are just getting so unlucky. As you can see there, we actually lost the Islanders in 7. I thought maybe last year was the year we came one game shy, and the Sharks actually swept the Panthers in the Stanley Cup final in 4 games. So looking at our team, I'm still pretty optimistic. Like, our core is very, very good. As you guys will see here in a second, we have one of the best players in the league right now in Shane Wright, up to a 95 overall, and considering his rating, on a really good contract there at $9 million for the duration of this franchise. So we're set with him as our 1C. Lucas Raymond up to a 92. He's been playing unreal. He had over 100 points last year in the regular season, on top of being our playoff scoring leader. As you can see, I think he had like 104, yeah, 104 points. So a big year for him. Really, whoever's on that first line with them should be able to perform as well. Seth Jones is a solid #1 defenseman. Now, Bobby Brink here up to an 88, does not want an extension. Probably going to lose him to free agency. Foligno there didn't have the greatest year, but he actually went up in rating to 88, so maybe he'll be like our second line center. McLeod's pretty solid there, 87, making $5 million. Krebs is actually slowly turning into a solid top 6 winger, so hopefully we can bring him back. One thing I noticed though, Niku's down to 83, making 5.7, so definitely going to try and trade him. Also, too, looking at goaltending, Gibson's down to an 85, so we definitely took a risk trading Askarov for him. And it almost paid off in the playoffs, not quite. Now he's down to 85. Doesn't want an extension either. Probably going to look for a starting goaltender in free agency. But Wachowski here, the backup, 79 medium elite, should be like an 81. So a very solid backup for next season and could even grow to potentially be our starter for the final year. But at least for next year, I think we definitely still need to sign a starter. So looking at the team there, I think we have about 15 million in cap space. Like, we honestly aren't in too bad a position. So we'll send to the draft now. One thing, actually, other thing I want to show you guys, I want to try and do here. There's only 5 medium elite players, but I noticed the 5th guy here, Kerslak, is pretty solid. He had 127 points in juniors in 67 games playing for North Bay. His stats there, A+, A+, size and skill, 200-foot game, size and strength. So he's NHL ready, as you can see. He'd play on our 3rd or 4th line, and he's kind of a bright player type for a 3rd or 4th line player. Looks to be a power forward. And in terms of like his grades there, he's actually got the exact same as the potential 1st overall, or potential 1st overall actually has slightly better physical, even though our guy's bigger. But I feel like if the team picking at 5th has their pick on the block, or it's not valued too highly, definitely worth trying to trade up for, as I feel like we could use a bit of a boost to our bottom 6. And of course, a guy getting drafted top 5 who's NHL ready on a rookie deal is going to be huge value for us. So after the draft now, guys, and the Minnesota Wild actually have their 1st overall pick on the block. Thing is, I feel like it'd still be easier to trade for the 5th, even if it's not on the block. As you can see there, it's red, but the value's almost at the max, which is pretty high, I think, for just an elite guy. Whereas, let's see, 5th overall, yeah, it's pretty much half the value. So I'm going to hopefully get the Sabres pick here, and hopefully our guys there as well. Usually the computers pretty much follow the central scouting order. Actually, having said that, I want to see if 4th is, like, essentially the same value here with Ottawa, because if it is, we could be playing it a bit safer, and yeah, it's pretty much the same. Hopefully we have something Ottawa wants. Alright, guys, so here's the offer making Ottawa for 4th overall. Sami Niku, honestly, is a bit of a cap dump, but they want him. 83 overall, making 5.7 million. I think it's a bit too much. Our 1st round pick this year, which is 18th overall, as well as a 2nd rounder in 2029. So that'll be the 1st draft after the franchise is over. I feel like, to make it fair, we won't trade picks past that 2029 draft. The value's on our side. I think they're probably going to want a little bit more, but we'll see what they say. Trade rejected. So honestly, we have 2 1st round picks this year. I feel like it might be worth it just to make sure we get a really good player. So 18th and 24, plus Niku's a bit of a cap dump. All we have left actually this year is a 5th rounder. Luckily, I'll show you guys though, there's really no like late round gems or anything in this draft. So Niku, who again, essentially a cap dump, 2 firsts there for 4th overall. It's pricey, but let's see what Ottawa says. Trade rejected. Wow, that's actually kind of insane. Alright, guys, so I'm going to try a different approach here. I'm going to trade one of our prospect goalies, Clem, 21, 66 overall, medium elite, was the AHL starter, but that high elite can probably take over. I'm basically going to try and flip him to the Jets' 6th overall pick, which is on the block, and as you can see, it's actually got pretty much the same amount of value as that goaltender there, so we need to take somebody back. We'll just put Semenov there. The value looks to be about equal. We might have to add like a 2nd rounder or something. And basically what I'm thinking is once we get this pick, it'll be pretty easy to get the 5th overall from Buffalo. Basically flipping this 6th. So throw in like a 3rd next year. This should work. Trade rejected. Okay, it's set a bit low. Let's try using that 2029 2nd rounder here with the elite goalie for 6th overall. There we go. Okay, so Now we've done that, I think we'll try and flip this pick. So I just sent the Ottawa pick, and luckily they didn't take our guy, so I'm going to have to go full out here to get the Buffalo pick. Again, moving up one spot, like 6 and 18 in real life would definitely do it. Now in game they know like it's a medium elite guy there. Let's try this. We'll do 6, 18, 2/3. Come on. Trade rejected. Alright guys, we're going to make Buffalo the same trade offer we made Ottawa. Niku is 6 and 18, so an 18th overall in Niku to move up one spot. Come on, look at the value difference. And Buffalo still rejects, saying the value is too far off. That's just unbelievable. I'm going to add another first round pick. Like 3 first rounders and Niku to drop back one spot. There we go. That was insane. I probably gave out too much there, but honestly I wanted to drop Niku's cap anyway. And we get our guy who's guaranteed medium elite, NHL ready. I mean, could we have got somebody better? Maybe, but look at that. 81 overall in the draft, medium elite potential. And their pick's going to be like top 6 or something. 75 overall defenseman, medium top 4, which isn't honestly that bad. Like, they got an NHL defenseman and 2 first rounders to make that one drop back. They made out pretty good. And like I was saying, guys, when I look at the draft class here, there's this Phillies guy supposed to go 15 who might be medium elite. And other than that, like, there's not really too much available in the draft. So even though we only have a couple more picks, it being, you know, close to the end of the franchise, I think that will still be okay. So our next pick here is 24. We want to try and find a gem. Like, if we can get a medium elite guy here, even if he's not NHL ready, that would just be huge for us. So low elite there. I don't know about that. I know there was that guy, goalie, 29, chance at high elite. Redden's like a 50-50 medium elite who's supposed to go 38. Now this left winger here, Palin, AHL top 6, but he's a gem, and his rank there is 32. So I'm thinking we might go with him because gems pretty much always hit. This guy here, Oliver, is a guaranteed medium top 4. 4 years though for NHL ETA, so he's probably like a low 60. I'm going to go with Palin. What's his NHL ETA? 2 years. Okay, so he should be higher rated. Please be good. 71 overall, medium top 6 for late first rounder. That's a nice pick. Trying a 4th and a 5th rounder next year for a 4th this year. And they do say yes. They were pretty tough there making that trade. All right, so similar to our next pick, it's 109. I think that guy's supposed to go like 120. Howluck, I'm going to say no to. So hopefully he's still there. Again, gems pretty much always hit. Let's see. He should be there, please. Okay, he is there. So Darling out of Sudbury. And 52 overall, medium top 6 for a 4th round pick. That's really nice. Our next one there is 146. That's why we had to trade up. Some low top 9s getting drafted. So this pick's 100% shot in the dark. Zarkov, 50-50 low top 4. Isn't terrible. Medium elite goalie. There's also this Finnish defenseman there. Could be medium elite. Might have to trade back into like the end of the draft, take a chance on him. We'll go with the goalie here though. Goalies I feel like have a better chance of actually hitting. Fringe starter, okay, so it's not him. And next year, guys, we're trying to get trade with the Ducks for 2 6th round picks. One will give us a chance at that Finnish defenseman who could be medium elite in this draft, and then the others for next year's draft. Value's pretty equal. Obviously, Brink we're not bringing back, so pretty much free picks. And they do say yes, so there we go. Maybe could have gotten like a 6th and a 5th, but it looked pretty equal there. And again, trade difficulty's on hard, so it's always, you know, pretty tough, as you guys saw with that trade we made to get up to number 5. So hopefully that Finnish defenseman is still here. Again, he's like 50-50 medium elite. Makala, please be good. And medium 7th D. It was worth a shot, though. So obviously not too many picks in this draft, but we haven't picked top 5 in a while, and I feel like that Kerslak guy is going to be huge for us. And before we get to the re-sign phase, guys, just extended a bunch of scouts. I think 7 there in total. Also, too, a bunch of coaches need new deals. As you can see, all we have signed right now is our NHL head coach, one of the assistant coaches, and an AHL assistant coach. And honestly, we've been underperforming, especially the AHL team. I think it's time to clear house. So this AHL assistant coach here, I'm just going to let go. I think we just hired her, but still. NHL assistant coach, I think we also just hired, but I want some new faces in there. Now, the NHL head coach I'm actually going to keep just because A- overall, making $1 million is an insane value for the NHL head coach, as we did promote him from assistant coach. Usually an NHL head coach that's A- or better is making like $3 or $4 million, if not $5 million. So we're getting really good value on him. Also, to our AHL goalie coach has actually done really well. All those elite goalies have grown quite a bit in the AHL, even on not too great a teams. So definitely going to keep him as he's done his job well. But I think every other position, honestly, including Brent Burns, we're just going to let go there. So we're bringing in 6 new coaches. Hopefully it's enough of a shakeup to finally break through to the conference final. And so looking at our contracts now, guys, we have $20 million in cap space after trading away Sami Niku. And honestly, we could afford to do it as defensively we're still solid. There's our top 3. bring back Recchi, and I think Latin and Cole will actually be a pretty decent bottom pair as long as they can both grow 1 or 2 over the summer. So speaking of which, Recchi does not want an extension. I would like to bring him back. 4.6 million is actually pretty fair. He'll probably ask for about that in free agency, so I'll offer him the 4.75. He says no, we'll qualify him, then reoffer once he gets to free agency. Now looking at forwards here, Peyton Krebs is going to be a second line forward for us, so definitely want to bring him back. 5 years at 5.75, that's actually a super fair ask by an 86. We'll do 5.5 there, keep it all 5s. Cole Lynn doesn't want to come back. That's okay, he was basically a rental anyway. The guy we just drafted, 5th overall, definitely signing him to a contract. He'll probably be our third line center by the looks of it, as I think Valino or McLeod will definitely be on the wing. Actually, both of them might be on the wing, honestly. Larkin playing 2C, and I want him to definitely get his ice time. As his role there is third line checking forward, so playing on 4th line, he might not grow enough. Sorelli would be the 4th line center. Gibbons there is an 80 now, which is nice. Kuffner, I think he was a decent 4th line winger for us. 1.5 million though. We can usually get guys way cheaper than that for the 4th line, especially we have a couple 78s there coming up. Gunther, hopefully he can grow to 79 finally. Give him a 1-year deal there. He's got to prove it to us. Hines, a decent AHL player. This Peterstrom guy here, 23.73, does not want an extension. There's always AHL dudes who don't want extensions. I think they think on another team they get a better chance. Not going to happen though. This Palin guy we drafted 1st round. Aiden grew here. Unfortunately never grew for us. 26 years old, 69 overall. Didn't even get to a 70. Honestly, I think it's just time we cut ties with him. Just wasn't meant to be. Finnegan 22.67, that's not too bad. Again, doesn't want an extension, will qualify almost for sure. No team's going to sign him. Tyrell, 1962. I mean, whatever. We'll sign him. I think we definitely have the contract spot. It's not a big deal. Now, like I was saying, defensively, we should be solid there. The 2 young, high 70s. As long as Recchi comes back, we'll have a nice top 6. Sekov, now 28 years old, 77 overall. Time to let some of the kids come in. Same goes for Lindstrom, 28.75. Alfredson there, signed. McIsaac's 27 and 74. I don't know why, just him and Grew were never able to basically make that jump from the AHL to the NHL. So looking at the AHL defensemen there, they're actually all pretty solid. Dominguez, another guy, doesn't want extension, so we just qualify him. McNeil, 21.68, it's actually not too bad, so we'll keep him. I'm not sure why some of the guys that aren't that good ask for the max rookie deal. It's a bit unrealistic. Morris, 21.64 is also pretty solid. And now looking at our goalies here, as I already mentioned, we're just going to let John Gibson go down to an 85. It's way too risky to keep him. Mitrovsky there, I feel is going to be a very solid backup, though, which is nice. And then Semenov here, who I think we actually got back in a trade, looks to be the AHL starter. I think, though, Pispanin, high elite, will probably take over that role, so the other guy there will be the backup. And here we go, guys. So Palin there accepted our offer, but he'll be going back to juniors anyway, I just realized. Kerslak here joined our team. He was, of course, the 5th overall pick. Gunther's come back. Krebs decided to renew a contract. That was honestly a very good contract. Was it 5 years, 5.55? He's 86 overall. A really good value. Tyrell Hines rejects, wants to test free agency, so we'll just qualify him. Same goes for Recchi. We'll get them signed once free agency hits. They realize they're asking for a bit too much money. All right, guys, so make sure you give everyone a qualifying offer. We still have 15 million in cap space, so assuming Recchi gets around 5 million, we have $10 million to sign a starting goaltender and one other forward, and that's really all we need, is our defense will be locked up. So honestly, we're in a pretty good spot, and 2, we're going to be bringing in a ton of new coaching staff. I think that's one of the scouts right there accepting his deal. So I'm pretty optimistic that this could finally be our year. Don't feel the role you offer is appropriate given my skill set. This guy was literally an AHL goalie coach for the past I don't know what, so maybe we're losing the AHL goalie coach as well, but that's fine. I was trying to clean house anyways, so we have to bring in all new people. I think with the head coach making as little money as he can, we're actually able to get some really nice supporting staff behind him. And I think he's only got 1 year left on that deal, so hopefully it's not too expensive for that final season. But let's get to free agency here. I'm very curious to see who's available. Again, number one thing for us is, and look at all the coaches not renewed. We're gonna have a whole new coaching staff, like I said, behind our head coach there. So free agency, we need a starting goaltender available. Otherwise, we have to go make a trade run. And Zegras, 89 overall, wants 11 million. Just became a UFA at 26. Mitchell here, RFA, 90 overall. See a first overall, second overall, 2021. Bobby Brink there. So unfortunately, who was it? Ottawa? I already forget who we made that trade with. Was not able to sign him. Kucherov there, 34 years old, still a 92. I mean, imagine him playing with Shane Wright and Lucas Raymond. He still has elite potential as well. That's pretty ridiculous. All those stats are still nice except for physical. O'Sullivan, Petrangelo, so Edmonton, that contract finally ended. Obviously, we traded him to get Draisaitl. Goldobin, who's one of our draft picks. Got Chenyuk, Kachuk, so some pretty big name players available. Now, goaltending, What's this guy's name? Odolin, 87 overall, medium elite. Only wants $6 million. That's pretty fair for a 25-year-old. 70 poise though. That's so concerning. Poise, everyone says big thing in the playoffs. Puck playing frequency 51. I'm not sure how much that would actually affect the sim. He's just covering everything up, which might not be the worst thing ever. Poke check's pretty terrible though. I don't know. That's kind of a risk, that guy. This goalie's 71, like all these prospects. Then it's Gibson. It's really not a lot after that. So maybe we have to trade for one of the two RFAs. Onger, like those guys are basically just good backups. Hellebuck, 85 overall. I'm kind of concerned with his age though at 34. I feel like we're definitely have to get pretty creative here. Alright guys, so rather than trade for one of those two RFA goalies, as they both had really weird stats, I'm going after Spencer Knight, one of the best young goalies in the NHL right now. Or actually, he's in his prime. 26 years old, 88 overall. Pretty solid stats last year. And looking at it here, you can actually see he's got decent poise there, which we need for the playoffs. So McLeod they're interested in. He's actually got way more value just because he's a forward opposed to a goalie. 87 overall, but for us, he's kind of like, I don't know, a better center, but he'd either be like too good of a third-line center for us or playing second-line winger. And I feel like if we can get a starting goaltender, it's worth trading him as well. He's only got 1 year left on his deal. He's going to want a big raise for that 10th season. So I'm trying to get greedy here and actually have them retain $2 million. I feel like they'll probably say no because it's a lot of money and he's not even on the block, but I'm just going to keep lowering it. I think we have a chance here, honestly, though, looking at the value. We'll see what Florida says. Trade rejected. Yeah, they're not willing to retain the $2 million. Maybe they do $1 million because it's like $1 million if the value is that heavily on our side. Maybe they think it's worth it to get McLeod. Trade rejected. Still, okay, so I was doing this to try and give us a bit more money for free agency, but 1 for 1, we got our starting goaltender. It's still worth it in my eyes. And there we go. So that's a big trade. We still have about $13 million in cap space. So what I'm thinking is we go after Kucherov. We say, screw it. If we have him on the first line with Shane Wright and Lucas Raymond, like there's no reason they can't be the 3 leading scorers in the NHL. Now, they'll only give us about $3.5 million or so to sign Recchi, but as long as no one makes him an offer sheet during the summer, we should actually be able to get that done. So $13 million there. Kucherov wants 9.6, 1 year deal. Florida's interested there. Imagine he went to Florida. That would suck. I'm going to make him a $10 million offer. I feel like maybe somebody else makes him 10, so 10.025. Hopefully he'll say yes, and if not, there's still a bunch of other forwards you can bring in to replace McLeod, and then still obviously keep our defensemen. Also, you guys want to check 2A players right now. This Sasaski guy, 2278, is a pretty good player. Medium top 6 potential. Now I'm sure Oilers match that. Then you have a bunch of guys here, all defensemen, or a few defensemen forward there. Low rating, but decent potential, so I'll sign all 5 of them, or at least make them offers. For Haig, 80 overall, could definitely see him being on our 4th line. Make a max offer there, 950K. Again, I'm surprised there's 80s slipping through to 2A. William Karlsson, 34 years old, but I feel like he'd still be a decent 4th liner for us. Nick Suzuki as well, Jesse Puljujarvi. Our 4th line, like, right now it's a couple 78, so if they don't grow, I'd much rather these guys. Karlsson, though, 34, he's probably got a much better chance to downgrade, especially his defensive stats there aren't that good. I want decent defensive players. Suzuki's really aren't that great either, but he's quick. I'm thinking Suzuki and Puljujarvi is the play here, so I'll make them both max offers there. Again, for the 4th line, like these guys could be solid players, and if not, they're just, you know, helping out the AHL team. Like I was mentioned before, guys, we have to hire an entire new coaching staff. Look at that. The only position filled right now is the head coach, so I'm going to try bringing Ovechkin on as an associate coach. I was looking at it, he actually only has 55% team fit, which I didn't think was very good, but it's because we only have a head coach right now. I think that somehow affects it, because the next best was honestly like 52%, so Ovi will give him 10 extra grand there. Again, he shouldn't really matter. He's kind of rich, so hopefully Ovechkin comes in. I think that'd be pretty cool. Now, assistant coach-wise, I feel like we just want somebody, honestly, the best grade, really. And I feel like it's this Lassard guy. B offense, which is pretty good. B minus power play. A minus teaching, which is actually really nice. This guy here, though, A plus coach influence. Post this one, which is C minus. Now, he does have a D penalty kill, D defense. So yeah, I think for the assistant coach, Lassard here is probably the most balanced, which is what we want. Again, hopefully like just the 10 extra grand. It's the role they want, so they should say yes. And actually now we have to check and look for goalie coach. Now for the NHL goalie coach, I'm going with this Neela Kanen guy. I think he's got the highest overall, so I feel like he would just fit that spot the best. So AHL associate coach, he really should accept the NHL coaching job. Again, offer him an extra 10 grand there. It should be fine. And for the AHL coaching, I'm actually just looking for the guy who has the best teaching, as that's the most important thing. So it looks like there's 2 guys here with A+. We'll just go with the cheaper one there. Kravchenko. Other teams interested, so might have to outbid them. And then AHL goalie coach. Give him a bit more there. Make sure our high league goalie grows in the AHL. And now looking for an AHL head coach. To me, the most important thing for an AHL coach is teaching and coach influence. Teaching, of course, to help them grow, and then coach influence to actually like have the biggest impact on the games. Now, this guy here, I looked at his team fit, 24%, but it's because we only have 3 players showing in AHL, so you can't really get it higher than that. I feel like we'll actually be okay. So I'm going to get an offer him like an extra 15K there. Hopefully they'll sign on to be our AHL head coach, and pretty much using the same strategy for AHL associate coach and assistant coach, just best teaching and coach influence combined. So this guy here has got the B and the B minus. Again, it's not really going to be an accurate team fit right now just because we have like a bunch of guys off the qualifying offers, stuff like that. And then the assistant coach, A+, or that's the goalie though. Most of the goalies are actually going to have a much higher teaching. Now generalist here, B and C for coach influence. Not too bad. Overall, C-. Actually, this is the girl we let go. I don't know if we bring her back. Let's try somebody new. Let's try the person right below. Lehman. And a pretty big trade just went down. Montreal trading Max Domi, who's still 86 overall, with this Brook dude who's an 80, to Anaheim for a first-round pick, and Sod looks to be a prospect goalie. So, interested to see what other trades happen. This guy says, don't feel the role you offer is appropriate given my skill set. I'm pretty sure he's considered like an AHL associate coach. I offered him the NHL goalie coach job, and his teaching specialty was goalie, so whatever. This guy, though, the AHL goalie coach, accepted. So that's awesome. We'll have to go and sign the other one. Don't feel like the size of your team market is what I'm looking for, so I'll decline. That kind of sucks. These coaches are tougher to sign than players. This guy, though, accepts, so that's nice to see. And the girl there rejected. I think she was the AHL assistant coach. And right there, one of the guys made an offer on accepts. Same with another guy. These are like the 19-year-old 50 overalls with like low top 4D or low top 6 forward. Still waiting to hear back from Kucherov. Ovechkin, your fan base attitude towards your team doesn't match with my expectations. What is he talking about? We'll go give Ovechkin a bigger offer. Nick Suzuki signed though, so that's big for the 4th line. Grebishkov there also accepts. He was a guy who had a qualifying offer on. Verhaeghe accepts. Again, nice 4th line addition. Sasaki there accepts as of now, but Edmonton will probably match. Puljujarvi accepts. That's cool. Again, I think our bottom 6 got a lot better. And Lesser there accepts the deal as well. I think he was the associate coach, so that's nice. Most of them think, are you kidding me? Kucherov interested, but decided to go with another team. Didn't offer him enough money. I thought we definitely did. And he goes with Florida too, who he just traded McLeod to. And they're in our division, so Florida could be like a pretty interesting matchup. Now, Panarin's still available. 87 overall, 35 years old, wants 1 year there, $7.8 million. It's a big drop off after that, so I'm thinking we have to go after him. His shot's still insane. His hands are still insane. Really, it's just his physical, actually. His defense, he's got 890 awareness, which is with 87 stick check, which is more than fine for a winger. He's got good speed there. So, yeah, I think he'd actually replace Bobby Brink fine. Obviously, we're only going to do a 1-year deal. We'll do $8 million there for 1 year. Hopefully, he'll be a player for us. And as you can see here, Edmonton did match our offer to Sasaki, which I figured they would. We're just like $925K or whatever. And Ovechkin here says, I don't really like to make up your roster, but I'll do my best to deal with it, and I accept. I offered him like an extra 100K, so it really just came down to the money. And right here, this guy is not interested in joining with the job title. He's like an AHL assistant coach. I offered him NHL goalie coach, so I'm not sure how you get those guys, because their roles are goalies, so I guess we just have to give him more money. Sam Girard, Larson for Palin and a first. I don't want all those contracts or all the dollars coming back. Waiting to hear back from Panarin. We got to get him, hopefully. He does accept, so there we go. Panarin. I'm not sure if he's going to play first line or second line, but honestly, he's a shooter. So playing with Wright and Raymond, I think, is going to be huge. Dumba, 3rd and a 4th for Palin, 2 minutes and a 3rd. If Dumba's still good, that's actually not a bad offer at all. I feel like he's probably not, though. And 85, he's not bad. What is he making? $6.6 million for 2 more years. This will put us just over the cap. Palin, 71 medium top 6. That was pretty solid. This guy's 70 medium top 4. It's a decent offer. I'm going to say no, though. I feel like we don't need to do it, and we could use those pieces down the road for something bigger. Next year, you guys want to try and get Recchi signed. We have $5.5 million in cap space, so should be able to get it done. He wants 5 there for 5 years. Does he get cheaper? He does actually get a bit cheaper. Let's try... we only need him for 2 more years. Let's try 4.4 for 2 years. I feel like I should say yes. Alright, guys, I'm going to try signing this Halpern AHL head coach. We'll offer him like an extra 50K or something. Hopefully he'll say yes. After that, I think we still need an NHL goalie coach and an AHL assistant coach. Not sure why it's so hard to sign an NHL goalie coach. And after saying that, we actually did get an NHL goalie coach. Offered him like an extra 50K or something. He has 8 teaching, so hopefully Spencer Knight can become even better. Also got this girl here who's going to be our AHL assistant coach. She had decent teaching, so I figured why not. I think all we need now is our AHL head coach, and this guy's happy to join the team, so there we go. I think I offered him like as well an extra 100K or so. Finneganov just came back to the team. Still need to hear back from Recchi, and he signed with the team. I think that was good too. 4.4 million there for 2 years. So see how the coaching staff looks. That's all filled out. 76% staff chemistry is honestly really nice there. And I just realized too, I think the AHL assistant coach is a goalie specialist, but I mean, whatever. We have a high league goalie. Maybe having essentially 2 goalie coaches there, I'll make sure he grows. And we just had a decent trade go down, guys. Dylan Dubé going to the Colorado Avalanche along with a 3rd round pick and Miles Wood for a couple prospects heading to Toronto. Still about a month here, so let's start the season. And like I was saying, I'm pretty excited. I think we have a good young goalie in Spencer Knight. I feel like our team's balanced. Hopefully this is the year. And I can't believe I'm going to do this, guys, but we need to make something happen this year. So switching up the captaincy, taking the C off of Larkin, and we're going to put it on Shane Wright. I mean, one of the best players in the NHL. I feel like at this point, it's probably his team. Larkin, though, we're still going to give an A, but the C is going to go on Wright's chest, and Jones will wear the other A as well. Maybe just, a sign of different things to come, hopefully. I think actually Larkin and Mantha are like the only 2 Red Wings still on this team. I don't know if you really count Sider or not because he's in the AHL, but pretty crazy just how much this team's changed. Check this out, guys. Apparently we have Gardner Minshew on this team. Bryson Reisner looks just like him. I was editing some of the AHL player types as well as positions just to make it a bit, cleaner in terms of chemistry. It still really isn't that great. I'm not sure why the AHL team is always so tough to do, but we're going to start the season now. So I'll start off by showing you guys the NHL team. Again, team stats there is champion. Very excited to get started here. So Panarin actually dropped to an 86, but still has an awesome shot, which is why we got him. Same with sick hands and pretty good speed. So playing on the first line there, Shane Wright, Lucas Raymond should do really well. Second line, we have Mantha, Larkin, and Krebs. So I think that's a very solid second line. Third here, we have Kerslak, who just drafted 5th overall. Hope for big things from him. Playing with Joe Veleno and Gibbons there is up to an 81. So I'm kind of going with like the Penguins model there, sort of like a Crosby, Malkin, and Jordan Stahl back in the day with the 3, big time centers. And then fourth line there I think is really solid. We got Suzuki, Cirelli, and Puljujarvi. Like, that is a very solid fourth line. Defense, still the same top pair there, Jake Bean, Seth Jones. We got Sider playing with Latinen, and then we have Recchi playing with Cole. Basically, this has balanced it out a bit more. Also, worked better for the chemistry. Now looking at the special teams here, neither of the power play units or the 4-man power play actually get a boost, but still, I mean, look at that first unit. It's pretty stacked. We should be okay. Penalty kill there, I think both of them look really good. We have some nice 2-way players on this team. Look at the 3-man penalty kill as well. Goalies, Knight there's 88, and Mitrowski actually up to an 80, so should be a solid backup for us. Again, I'm thinking the changes we made here, hopefully it's enough. Finally have some playoff success. And then AHL team here, like I was saying, the chemistry could be better, but not too bad. So Gunther playing with Reisner and Hines. I noticed too, I think it's Erzberg here. He's a grinder with the best hands I've ever seen. 92 deking hand-eye and passing, 90 puck control, 78 overall. Like I was saying, that's got to be the best hands I've ever seen on a grinder. You can see the rest of the AHL team there, honestly, isn't too bad. Defensively as well, +3 there on the top pair. Johansson, Bode Wild. Special teams, though, could be better. You can see the 4-man power play is a 0, -2. Power play, we did a +1 on the 1. PK is a -2. 3-man penalty kills, 2 -1s. So I definitely might have to play with it a bit more. I was actually able to make that one a bit better there, 0 and a -1. So might have to play with it a bit more now after switching up some of those player types like I was mentioning. But AHL team's not too big of a deal. Goaltending-wise, we have Semenov as the starter. Pispanen backing him up. High elite, which is why I brought in a goalie coach plus an assistant coach who specializes in goalies. So hopefully he'll grow again. Not going to probably grow to help us out this year and next, but the better he gets, just the more trade value he has. Next, you guys just want to check our stats heading into this season. Should be pretty solid. 96 offense, one of the highest ones we've had. 91 D, 88 goaltending. You can see there Shane Wright wearing the C. We'll see whether or not it works out for us. Again, we got to make the conference final at some point. And so we're at the end of December here, guys, with a really good record, 25-11-1. We actually had a bit of a rough start. I think we were 5-6 to start. Currently tied with the division lead with the Montreal Canadiens at 51 points. Hopefully we can keep this up. And the Ottawa Senators just fired their head coach, so even, 9 years down the road, looks like the rebuild still hasn't quite worked out for them. And Toronto just made a pretty big trade here, trading Timothy Liljegren and Brendan Gallagher to Chicago Blackhawks for a first-round pick and a couple prospects. And St. Louis just got a huge return here for Vince Dunn and Sam Bennett, 82 and 80 overall respectively, and they got a first and a second-round pick. Seems like quite a lot. And after firing their head coach, Ottawa makes a big trade here, trading Middlestat and a third-round pick to Anaheim for Jordan Kyrou and a second. Honestly, seems like a bit of a wash, so not really sure what's going on there. And Winnipeg is offering us Cascio and Hickett here for Reisner and Finneganov, so 2 of our better AHL players. We'll see if these 2 would even actually make our team. So Cascio here, same range as our 4th line, and then Hickett's doesn't actually make the team. Another pretty big trade here, National trading Ryan Johansson to Montreal for a first and third round pick. And another pretty big trade here, Rangers trading Pionk and Nemesnikov to Montreal for a first round pick and a couple prospects. So two pretty big moves for Montreal now. Looks like they're stacking up. Just added a few forwards, and we've lost 3 straight games, which is never good. Still a solid record though. We get a win there against Columbus. So 2 more games now before the trade deadline. Perrin, who's an 83. And some picks going back to Vegas. Can beat Oilers, McDavid. And we do 4-2. And this trade confused me. So Tampa Bay just traded Roslovic and Armia back to Winnipeg for Mike Hoffman, who's now 78, JT Comfort, and Ethan Bear. So another kind of interesting trade going on. And we got 1 more game until the deadline. If we can get a win against Dallas, we'll be a pretty good spot, I think. Currently have 83 points. That put us to 85 at the deadline, which, I mean, pretty much guaranteed a playoff spot. Aside from the Canadiens, no other team in the Atlantic Division is close to us. It's like there's always some other team in our division, it seems, that's stacked. And check this out, probably the biggest trade so far. Minnesota getting an 87 overall goalie in Regan. I think he was one of the guys that was actually an RFA this summer. Second round pick, another goalie prospect, another second round pick for Dumba, Barchi, and 2/3. So a pretty big trade there. I was wondering why, like it looked like it was frozen, but I guess we're just kind of processing that huge trade. Montreal has 90 points at the deadline, so that's why they're stacking up, and we're going to have to play them in the second round of the playoffs at the minimum, unless they somehow get knocked out. Like, look at that, 90-85. I think, are we the top 2? Oh no, Avalanche 89, are you kidding me? So, second team in the division and third team in the NHL right now. Larkin having an unreal year, 67 points in 63 games. He hasn't had over a point per game in a while, and that's playing second line center, but he's also first line center in the power play, so I'm sure that helps a bit. Take a look at the trade block now, see what's out there. Obviously, with Montreal adding a bunch of pieces, I feel like we have to too. All right, guys, we're going to try to upgrade our defense, getting Colin Parayko for St. Louis Blues. Have them retaining 50%, 34 years old, still an 84 overall. Very good defensive stats there. He's big too, 6'6". Offer them Darlene here, unsigned prospect, 55, medium top 6. For Hags in the AHL, a couple third-round picks. I am adding a little bit of value here, but that's to hopefully get them to retain 50% so we can add another player. We'll see what the Blues say. Trade's accepted, so there we go. And honestly, I think it's a really good move for us. And actually, guys, I'm trying to get Brock Nelson from the Tampa Bay Lightning. He's actually a lot higher rated than I expected. 85 overall, making 3.3 for 1 more year. Have them retaining 50% as well, just because, you know, it's a rental here. Offering them Briere, fringe starter, goalie potential. Saugas, 75 overall center, low lead. He's okay. Fukufuji, low top 4D. We'll see what they say here. And trade's accepted. So I feel like a couple nice additions for the offense and the defense. Hopefully it's enough to kind of get us over that hump. And so after those 2 trades, guys, here's an update look at the lines. Top 6 are the same. Panarin's actually an 84 now, but his shot's still good, so it makes sense, I think, to have him with a couple of really good playmakers in Wright and Raymond. Raymond's actually up to a 92 now. Second line there, Mantle, Larkin, Krebs are the same. Third line, we now have Kerslak with Velino and Nelson, so I think that's a very, very solid third line. And Gibbons there playing with Cirelli and Puljujarvi, so just gives the fourth line a bit more scoring. Defense, I like the look of this a lot. So Siders down the top pair with Jones, Parayko, and Bean, I think match up perfectly. Bean, of course, offensive defenseman, insane hands, and then Parayko just kind of like the ultimate shutdown defenseman, so that should be a sick top 4, and then Recchi there playing with Latin on the bottom pair is also an improvement. Obviously, no changes there to the goalie, so pretty excited to see what happens. We'll see the rest of the season, and then, of course, hope for the best in the playoffs. And so rounding the season here, guys, the record of 53, 25, and 4, really good season for us. I think a ton of teams, though, actually went off this year. I think a lot of teams are rebuilding, so easy wins. Larkin, 87 points, 82 games, so I think he slowed down slightly. Was hoping, like, somebody would have had another 100-point season, whether it be Wright or Raymond, both 90+. So our division, let's see. Second place there, Canadians, 120. We had 110, which is still a really good year. Metro, not even close to us. Avalanche, 113, so we finished 3 behind them. And then Pacific, not even close really to the Central. So clear 2... So 2 clearly better divisions than the other 2. I'm curious to see now, like, how did Wright and Raymond do? Wright 78, so definitely not as good a year. I don't know why. Like, he's got Raymond there at 110 last year. Sometimes it just makes no sense. And like Panarin at 64, maybe down to an 83, but looks like it just his skating's fallen off. Same with his physical. His hands and shooting are all still there, but luckily just a 1-year deal on him. Krebs 61's not too bad. Velino 51 there. Honestly, too, looking at the scoring and like what's going on in NHL right now, I think for my next franchise I might actually do the higher scoring setting. I think a lot more guys coming around the 120-point mark, especially if they're superstars, which like they already boosted it from last year where it was way too low scoring. But I think if you look at scoring this year, you have to actually boost it again. So Spencer Knight, very good stats. This might be Vezina worthy. .926 save percentage to 2.29 goals against. So that was an amazing trade for us. Definitely was worth it. The one we did for the 5th overall player might have been too much, but the trade for Spencer Knight was good. AHL, Reasoner 63, Gunther 59. Still waiting on him to make the NHL. Like, we drafted him 28th, 2021, had high hopes, and has not panned out yet, but there's 1 year left, so maybe he'll finally make it. And looking at the entire league, see who led in scoring. McKinnon 112, but Colson 104, Gensel 102, playing with McKinnon. Pearson there 99, Caulfield 98, 52 goals. McKinnon though had 54. Landeskog, McDavid, Yamamoto 96, Eichel. I'm assuming it's McKinnon's 54. It is. McDavid 1 shy, Caulfield 2 behind. So some guys were actually going off this year, unfortunately for our team. Wasn't the case, but we looked to be pretty good defensively. I think too. Spencer Knight in net with the addition of Parayko. Like, we should be a tough team to score on, hopefully, in the playoffs. And first round, we're going to be up against the Bruins by the looks of it. So that'll probably be a tough matchup. So take a look at the Boston Bruins lines here. I totally forgot. This is the team that Draisaitl signed with, opposed to us. Still can't believe that. As well, they signed Cahoon, 87 overall now, to $12.3 million. I don't know how he got paid more than Draisaitl. Like, Draisaitl was a 94 in free agency. He was an 88. That was still so weird to me. And I mean, Pasternak's also on that first line, so they're just stacked. So with Pelly there, 88. Kajul's an 83. The bottom 6, okay. Defensively, they have Quinn Hughes and Charlie McAvoy. That's nasty. Brandstrom as well. I'm pretty sure they got both Brandstrom and Hughes out of free agency, so they've just been signing everybody. Like, they got 2 of their 3 best defensemen, 2 of their 3 best forwards. Who's their goalie, though? Georgiev, I guess, would be the goalie, 84 overall. So it's kind of a strange team, I guess, but we should be able to beat them. Like, I definitely think we're more solid throughout. We have Shane Wright, who's a 95, and I mean, he didn't do too much in the regular season, but this is time to shine. Hopefully, he can go off here in the playoffs. Obviously, too, home ice advantage. Hopefully, that'll help us out a bit here. So, first game in Hockeytown. Come on. We need a win. And 2 goals, Kerslak and Larkin. Second period, we get 2 more, Cirelli, Panarin. Nothing in the third, so there we go. Big 4-0 shutout to start off the playoff. Game number 2 now, first period, no score. Second period, they get 2, Nyquist and Apple. Third period, we get 2 to tie it up. Unfortunately, Smith Pelly there. 50 seconds left, are you kidding me? Stops it from going to overtime. So, tied up 1-1. Looks like it's going to be a pretty good series. I mean, I feel like we never really get a easy matchup, I'd say, in the playoffs, just because the Atlantic Division every year seems to be the stacked division. The Metro is the one you actually want to be in. So we'll see what happens here. It would be awesome if somebody upsets Montreal. First period, third game, 1-1, Panarin and Apple. They get another one there from Apple. Who's this Apple guy? I don't remember him being that high rated. There we go. Panarin again, so two goals for each of them. Can one of them get the hat trick here for the OT winner? Hopefully it's Panarin. Are you kidding me? The Apple guy gets the OT winner. Just 2 guys going 1v1. Unfortunately for us, our guy did not win. For game number 4 now, we really need to win this one. Can't afford to go down 3-1. Nothing in the first. They got 1 in the second. Still anybody's game here going into the third. We're down by 1. Let's go. Not what we wanted to see. McAvoy gets an empty netter. Quinn Hughes gets 1. Get shut out there 3-0. I swear, if it comes down to the 10th and final year for us to win this Stanley Cup, I don't even know. So, I mean, we can win 3 games in a row. We've won like 5 or 6 in a row in the regular season. We're a better team on paper. Let's go. Pastrnak, Nyquist. We get 2. Unfortunately, so do they. Bracco and Nyquist. Come on. Big third period, boys. Wow. I thought, honestly, this was the team that could maybe get it done. Now, the good news is that, aside from the rentals we got the deadline, most of this team is locked up. So, should be able to bring it back for next year. Have some growth, especially 5th overall guy. Maybe make a couple moves. Just, I mean, boom or bust in the final year. We're going to go all out, try and win that Stanley Cup, but I can't believe how unlucky we've gotten. And look at that, guys. Of course, we lose to the eventual Stanley Cup winners in the Boston Bruins. I don't know how often that happens. This is our 9th franchise. I think at least 4 times, maybe 5 or 6 times, we lose to the team that wins the Stanley Cup. And the New York Rangers jump all the way up to 1st overall there from 10th. Arizona picking 2nd, where they should be. Nashville at 3rd. Ottawa, though, unfortunately gets last. Picks 4th. I actually forgot to check the entire league standings, so we'll go do that quickly here before looking at the awards. I honestly, Larkin, 4 points, 5 playoff games. I can't believe just how unlucky we get in the playoffs. Like, regular season-wise, yeah, Montreal's better than us, but every year we seem to be, 100-plus points, one of the best teams. Like, 3rd in the NHL this year. Can't get out of the first round. Boston finished 13th. Minnesota there, 18th, gets into the playoffs. Like, jeez, that's a rough year for Ottawa. 50 points, 30 win percentage. That is one of the worst seasons ever, I'm pretty sure. That is rough. Okay, So awards here. Actually, one more thing before we take a look at the awards. Take a quick look at the playoff tree. So Boston beat us in 5, Canadiens in 5, Capitals in 5, Oilers in 5. All right, so Boston, Edmonton, that'd be kind of cool. McDavid there, unfortunately, falls to Draisaitl in the Stanley Cup final. Already know all the team awards there. Individual, McKinnon, Art Ross, and the Hearts. Heiskanen, though, got the James Norris. Giroux, Lady Bing. Back-to-back here. That's pretty nuts. Still going strong. Boyle, Calder. Conn Smythe there went to McAvoy. Spencer Knight, though, did get the Vezina. I thought he would have. His stats were insane, so that's a good sign for next year at least. Hellebuck, though, got the William Jennings. Kunin got the Bill Masterton. Agostino, again, gets the Jack Adams. I feel like if you won it last year, you got a good team. Maybe GM didn't help them out. Team still is just McDavid, and they still got into the playoffs. I don't know. Perfetti there, the Selke, it's a new name. McKinnon, Ted Lindsay. Also got the Maurice Richard. So yeah, McKinnon, huge year for him. AHL team here. Cleveland won the Calder Cup. I don't think our team even made the playoffs. I mean, looking at the AHL team, it wasn't that great. Pavelec here, this guy, doing a bunch. Forsback Carlson, most goals. This Acker guy, best rookie. Robertson, best defenseman. Larmy, best goalie. Johnston, MVP. Saprikin, sportsmanship. So many of these guys I do not even recognize. Urquhart, community involvement. And then Hill in there, lowest goals against. So, I don't know what it is, guys. Like, if we have a curse or something. The only consistents from the beginning have been Larkin and Mantha. I feel like it can't be one of those two guys that have the curse. I honestly don't even really want to win the Cup on Detroit without one of those two anyways. So, a good thing is most of the teams are turning. I think we can just have a better team, honestly, for next year. Sagan finally retires with Jamie Benn, but Ben was on Toronto. Tarasenko, Hall, Duchesne, Skinner. Wow. Pietrangelo, Shen, Carlson, some big names here. Hoffman, Gallagher, Palmieri, PK Subban, Riley Smith, Nyquist, Henrique. So Nyquist retires a Stanley Cup winner. That's pretty cool. Tyson Barrie, Dzingel, Niederreiter. I mean, lots of guys are like in their prime right now retiring. Goaltenders here. Let's take a look. Carey Price finally retires, and on the Washington Capitals, their AHL team technically, Grubauer as well, Markstrom, Aaron Dell. So pretty much just Price retired for goalies, but pretty insane. So that's going to be it, guys, for this episode. We have one more episode. We'll look at that. Taylor Hall, Matt Duchesne, two of the fastest players, both become coaches. Maybe you can take a look at getting one of them. I would honestly love either to be a coach. I know we just brought a bunch of new guys, but didn't help us in the playoffs at all. So I'm thinking, I was going to say if we don't win the Cup next year, we could just keep going, but I'm pretty sure I made the franchise length 10 years, so we have to win the Cup next year. We at least have to make a conference final, at the very least. I'm going to go all out, make the most stacked team I possibly can. Hopefully it happens. If not, I'll probably just cry. Like I was saying, guys, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do that. Stay tuned for the final episode. It'll probably be out on Thursday. Check your sub boxes then. Hopefully they'll be watching us with the Stanley Cup.